How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Black Ops Cold War loadout video. Today's loadout is a fun gameplay setup aimed at sabotaging your enemies, so today's loadout is titled Engineer. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and let's jump right in. With this Engineer loadout, our main goal is to disable and destroy enemy equipment and score streaks, and to disrupt them from gaining any offensive against us. Because we're going to be making smart selection choices with this class, our loadout playstyle is going to be tactical. And while this class setup isn't too challenging to use in game, you will have to put in the effort in order to earn our chosen score streaks and to use our equipment effectively. So today's loadout difficulty is moderate. Starting off this Engineer setup, we're going to equip a submachine gun so we can maneuver around the map and sabotage the enemy. The perfect SMG for this loadout has to be the AK-74u. This weapon is not only light in our hands, but also has that stopping power capability when dealing with the bad guys in close quarters. But of course we can't go in bare bones, so let's talk attachments. Our first attachment is going to be the Spetsnaz Compensator. The Spetsnaz Compensator reduces our vertical recoil by 12% and is going to help us to stay on target when firing our shots. Our second attachment is the 8.4-inch Cavalry Lancer. This barrel gives increasing stopping power against enemy vehicles and will help us out greatly at shooting down attack helicopters. Next attachment is the Tiger Team Spotlight. This specialised flashlight increases the enemy reveal distance significantly by 40% and is a really useful attachment in Cold War, as it exposes the bad guys from blending into the environment by showing us a red dot above their heads when aiming at them. Our fourth attachment is going to be the GRU Mag Clamp, which increases our reload time with mere sleight of hand and also provides us with max starting ammo, so we don't need to choose scavenger later on in our perk slots. And lastly, our fifth attachment is going to be the Drop Shot Wrap. Treyarch have nerfed drop shotting in Black Ops Cold War by taking you out of ADS as default anytime you go prone. But we do have the Drop Shot Wrap in Cold War to counter this nerf. Being an engineer, we also specialise in the handling of our weapons, so we'll choose this final attachment to give us full control over the drop shotting mechanic. So now that we've discussed our primary weapon configuration, it's time to move on to our secondary weapon of choice for this loadout. For our secondary weapon, we're going to choose the Sigma 2 launcher. The Sigma 2 is both a free fire and lock-on launcher that we can use to track hostile streaks like those annoying spy planes and counter spy planes and blow them clean out of the sky. Since we can't equip attachments onto this launcher, let's move straight on to our wildcard and perk setup. For our wildcard selection, we're going to choose Perk Greed, which lets us equip an additional perk from each tier to help max out this loadout as best as. Our first tier perk of course is going to be Engineer. Engineer lets us see enemy equipment and score streaks through walls, as well as being able to re-roll care packages, which is going to come in handy to us when we discuss our score streak selection later on. For our second first tier perk, we're going to choose Forward Intel. Forward Intel not only enlarges our minimap so we can see enemy equipment and score streaks clearer, but also pings to us enemy locations when they respawn, giving us a heads up on them. For our second tier perk, we're going to choose Gearhead. Gearhead speeds up the time it takes to earn our jammer, and a bonus with this perk is that we can store up to 2 jammers in our arsenal, which will disrupt the enemy's comms more often. Not only are we going to choose Gearhead, but we're going to pair this perk together with Quartermaster from tier 2. Quartermaster recharges our Semtex and decoy grenades over 25 seconds, which allows us to disorientate the enemy team's awareness twice over. And lastly, for our 2 tier 3 perks, we're going to choose Cold-Blooded and Spycraft. Cold-Blooded makes us invisible to hostile thermal scopes and score streaks, as well as eliminating the reveal effects of enemy flashlights. This perk will make it harder for the enemy team to track us down, so we can hack into their systems with our second tier 3 perk, Spycraft. Spycraft enables us to hack into enemy field upgrades for our advantage, and booby trap care packages for an explosive surprise. Not only that, but Spycraft lets us bypass enemy counter spy planes and field upgrades, so that's why we'll choose them both as our tier 3 perks. Moving on now to our equipment and field upgrade. For our lethal equipment, we're going to choose the Semtex. The Semtex is a timed sticky grenade that you can toss into areas where you can see enemy field upgrades on the map. You can also throw the Semtex into rooms to kill the bad guys with, but they're not as damaging as normal frags, so it's best to leave the killing to your AK-74u. For our tactical equipment, we're going to go with the Decoy. The Decoy is an audible device that also sticks to surfaces and simulates footstep sounds to confuse and sabotage the enemy's awareness. A good strategy with the decoy is to throw one of these away from your teammates and lure the enemy to that area while you flank around from behind and disable their field upgrades. Speaking of field upgrade, for ours we're choosing the jammer. The jammer in Cold War acts just like the Black Ops jammer in that it jams the enemy radar with a white noise effect, and also disables enemy field upgrades from working if they are caught in the jammer's radius. So now we've talked about our equipment and field upgrade, it's time to finish off this loadout with our score streak selection. For our first score streak, we're going to choose the counter spy plane. The counter spy plane jams enemy comms for 30 seconds, making the enemy team blind to those minimap red dots and vulnerable to attack, so we'll go with the counter spy plane as our first score streak. For our second score streak, we're going to go with the care package. The care package is not only going to give us some cool streak rewards, but by pairing this score streak with the engineer perk, we can use our engineering skills to reroll our care packages if there's something we don't like. And finally, our third score streak is going to be the air patrol. The air patrol strafes through the clouds and launches a deadly firing attack on hostile aircraft high in the sky. Whether it be an enemy spy plane, a VTOL escort or a gunship, our own little air force will ensure these targets are downed so we can take back control of the battlefield. So troops, that wraps up my engineer loadout video for Black Ops Cold War. Next time you boot up Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, definitely give this class setup a try in game and get out your stinger wieners. If you did enjoy this loadout video, then give the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then why haven't you? Hit subscribe right now and also click the bell notification icon next to it, so that way you're always notified as to when I make an upload. If you have any friends who might be interested in this sort of content, then share the video around with them to help give my loadout videos and my channel more widespread exposure. And if you want to see behind the scenes previews of my loadout videos, you can follow me on Twitter at jordanxbrookes for all the latest on there. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.